Welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. And now, for your host, Kimberly McLemore.
All right. Hello, and welcome to this amazing evening. We have a special edition podcast show, of course. So we were obviously spending your moments with Lady K
and Mr. T.
All right.
Hey.
Welcome, Mr. T. How are you?
I'm very well, Lady K. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Trying to get used to this new fluff, as I call it.
She's doing it. She's gonna be playing with her hair this week, you guys. For 2 weeks in a row, I was the one playing with and I cut all my hair off. For those who've been chiming in, I cut my curly fro off. I cut all my curls. But now Lady K picked them up and she sewed them on.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, literally. Look, all the hair that I have is right there underneath this thing. It was easier to do it this way, to try it out, because you never want to do anything that you're not used to. And I was just telling our guest earlier that I actually had hair like this when I was a kid, and someone actually posted a picture of me today from one of my high school friends on my timeline saying, look at the throwback Kimberly, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Well, that's perfect, because we just recently had an event where it was a throwback fundraiser, which I know we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yes, we will.
So you were inspired.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I decided, to try to go with the quick and easy look. It's definitely only going to last a few weeks, because I need to go back to my other look. But anyway, enough about my hair. What we definitely want to talk about is we have a special show and we have a special guest. Obviously, that this show is the normal WSBI, Your Resource for Success podcast program. But as we like to do, we always love to invite our favorite guest. And of course, the favorite guest host is you, Mr. T, and Lady K Mistah T show. But we have a special guest tonight with us. His name is Lynell Freeman. He is the CEO and founder of LRF Enterprises. So we're going to be bringing him on shortly. But of course, we have our topic that we're going to be talking about called reciprocation. How does it affect you personally and professionally? But before we dive into all of that, what do we normally like to do?
We like to talk about ourselves.
The most awesome thing in the world is to talk about ourselves, right?
People are going to think we're like superficial or in vain, but it's
everybody
really
talk about themselves. I mean, really,
everybody does. Everyone does. People who say they aren't telling the truth, because
exactly.
If you're ask any bartender and ask any psychiatrist / therapist / counselor, people like to talk about themselves.
Yeah, and because it's just their opportunity to shine, right? So
exactly.
Why not talk about yourself? So why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about you?
You're kicking it over to me. So,
I sure am, because the last 2 or 3 shows, you've been such a gentleman, and and you let me go first. But today, I think you can go first.
Well, I am from the South, and we're very, very genteel and courteous, and we like to, do the kindly gentleman thing.
Yes. I agree.
All right. Well, for all of our listeners out there, once again, hello. My name is Mr. T. T stands for Tarek, but everybody calls me T because in my brand, Move with T, everybody calls me T because it's easier to say than Tarek a lot of times. And I touch so many different people across so many different mediums that sometimes people have difficulty pronouncing my name. So T-E-E is easiest. And this T is an Uncle T. My niece has the special privilege of saying, "Hey, Uncle T." She's the only one that gets to say that. So there you go. I'm also a doggy daddy. I'm here in Northern Virginia. I'm a doggy daddy. Come here, Pepper. I'm going to bring him up so everybody can see him.
Again tonight.
So I'm going to introduce him again. Now that he's had a haircut, this is Pepper with a haircut. Oh, So I'm going to put him down now. It's not storming here
Pepper's
like
like,
last time.
he's like, not tonight.
Well, he was actually laying down. He beside me. He was like, okay.
Mhm.
I was getting my rest.
Helping him.
Dad, what's up? But shout out to if I may say, Mr. Wolf Dog Care in Woodbridge, Virginia, for hooking him up with his haircut. Y'all should go there and check him out because they will take care of your poochie, and they take care of kitties too.
Oh, really? I'm glad.
Yes, I'm about to say.
She needs, is her little stink behind needs a little refreshing, okay?
So,
and maybe you can cut the claws too, because if you don't cut them, because she fights with me about it. So
there you
I'm
go.
putting the kitty over there. I'm glad you told me. I should have asked. I didn't know
Yeah.
you.
Well, the owner is Chewy for everyone, for all of our listeners out there, but his name is Jesus. Not Jesus, Jesus, because he's Venezuelan. He's from Venezuela. But he's very, very cool. And he'll take care of your pooch, your kitty, and he loves on them. And he's the only one right now that I trust my pooch with. So, but anyway, enough about that. But like I said, I'm a doggy daddy. I'm also the owner of Move with T LLC here in Northern Virginia. Which is my business, my fitness brand. I teach Zumba, cycle, Strong by Zumba, and I'm working on some other certifications, so stay tuned. And yeah, and my motto is be happy, be healthy, be loved. I'm all about spreading love, light, and encouraging everybody to be their best selves. And some of that I'll talk about a little bit later with our show topic. And outside of that, I'm a 40 years professional here in the DMV. Here in DC, DMV stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia, for those of you who don't know, not the Department of Motor Vehicles. So, but I'm here in that area trying to make my way, find my way, and be who I am, and living, loving, and having a good time with Lady K while I'm here.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
I'll kick it over to you, Lady K. Let's talk about you now. I've talked about myself.
All right. Yeah. Well, just a little bit about me. For those who don't know who I am, as on the show, I'm called Lady K. My name is actually Kimberly McLemore. I am the owner of the Women's Small Business Initiative. And so I'm actually the CEO and founder of that. And I'm also the CEO and founder of Author Kimberly M. McLemore, which means I am an author. I'm a 2-time author, soon to be a 3-time author. Yes. And and I won't get into any of the books right now, but I also have 2 podcast shows. As you know, I have the WSBI Your Resource for Success podcast program, which is on every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. as it is now. And then the other show I have every Friday evening is called The Author's Corner, where I actually interview authors from all over the country pretty much. So, real excited about everything that's going on with my life. And even outside of here, I'm actually a project manager and a senior consultant, so for a private company, and I actually work for Fort Belvoir too. So I'm pretty busy these days, but hey, it's been all well worth it. Absolutely.
Hey. And we're proud of you.
Well, thank you. I couldn't do it though without everybody, in my corner. So I really appreciate all of it. And it's just been, this whole year has just been amazing. I can't complain. And, and if I had more time to sit here and talk about it, nobody else would be able to talk. So we're not going to do that tonight. Okay. But what we are going to do is let's kind of jump into our topic, because I don't want our wonderful guest to be waiting forever. He's being so patient, hanging out and, waiting for us to do our thing here so we can get him on. But, the topic of discussion is, what does it mean to reciprocate, and how does it affect you personally and professionally, right?
Right.
And the only reason why I thought about this is that I happened to be talking to a good colleague and friend of mine who had brought this up and then actually posted that I reciprocate very well. And I started to think about what he was saying and how we kind of got into the conversation and thought about all the things that have been going on surrounding my business, and how often people don't understand what it means to reciprocate, whether it is professionally or personally. And a lot of times if people look at the word reciprocation, they're thinking of it's a tit for tat. And in reality, it really isn't about tit for tat. It's about understanding that in the world of professionalism, we are here to help each other out and provide resources to each other so we're all successful. I mean, and then my eyesight, that's the way I look at that. And there are many people who don't realize that reciprocation is a very important part of who we are and what we do in business, and that it needs to be utilized in a proper manner. It's not about using people or misusing people. It's about really truly realizing that business is business and personal and professionalism is professionalism. And I think a lot of times people don't know how to separate the two and don't realize that when they say they're going to do something, when they don't do it, how it reflects on them. So I just thought about that a lot. And then, of course, with all the things that we've been doing and collaborating here recently, and how important, how we've even learned how to reciprocate and share and teach each other new things, and know that everything that we're doing together, it really does have a meaning behind it. It's not just a tit for tat. It's not just, oh, well, I got to do it because, I said I would. It really is much bigger process than that. So that's just kind of my little thought process. What do you think about this topic of the session?
All right. Well, I always have a lot to say, and I try to.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna look. We got
Right.
5 minutes to break it down.
5 minutes. I'm looking at my timer right now. You always know I have a lot to say about things.
I got my clock on. I got my watch on. Okay, got my watch on.
Well, before I talk about reciprocity, I forgot to talk to the viewers about my awesome specs that I got.
Yeah, I thought you looked something kind of new. Look, you trying to be like me. You fly now.
I want everybody to see them. Can y'all see these? How awesome they are. What brand is this? This is
I knew there was something. You was already cute, but there's that little sexy thing going on, and that's some new spectacles.
And the two-tone, the dark up top and light on the bottom. A nice little blend from Pro Design. I'm just saying, So from my optometrist and all of our opticians, selfless plug, because they hooked me up. So I'm like, everybody else gonna get hooked up. Anyway,
look at fly.
Talking about reciprocity.
New do and new spectacles. Look, we both decided to do some changes. There you go.
There you go. But just I guess getting back to our topic with reciprocation and how it affects us personally and professionally. When I first saw the title suggestion, I actually thought about there was a song by Lauryn Hill, and she says reciprocity. I'm not a singer, so don't anybody penalize me for that. But I remember she says that in one of her songs. I remember that it's like a little ad lib. But reciprocity is really all about like you were talking about returning. It's kind of like a tit for tat. That's in layman's terms. But ultimately, where it takes us when we're actually thinking about it and what it really is, I'm pulling up my definition so I can remember what my thought process was for that. It's the tit for tat comes from when we exchange things with other people for mutual benefit, and in relationships like romantic relationships, for instance, or even with friendships, we do a lot of things, and it's based on reciprocation. And just in layman's terms, well, not in layman's terms, but in a basic explanation, I'll talk about like how we took our dog Pepper to doggy daycare the other day, and it cost a certain amount of money, and my other half dropped him off, and I went to go pick him up, and even though I paid for it, my other half reimbursed me for the cost to take him to the daycare because it wasn't my idea to do that. So I was like, oh no, it's fine. So I was like, no problem. But then the weekend before, when I dropped off Pepper at the groomer at Mr. Wolf Dog Care, shameless plug. But when I dropped him off there, I said, "Oh, here's the money to go pick him up, so you don't have to come out of pocket for that. So here's the money to go pick him up, including the tip." And so that's in romantic relationships. You kind of do stuff like that, and sometimes you don't even bother reimbursing one another. Sometimes it's like, okay, well, I pay for this, you'll pay for that, and it's all good. Now, professionally is where the waters get a little bit different. Where I'm actually going to be transitioning to a new position, by the way, for something that I've interviewed for. But I've been working a contract position for about a month, and one of the things that the team that has been talking about is my energy and how good it was. And they were just talking about, your energy is so good. We just love you. We want you to stay here. We're moving to this new space. Like, just go and touch the walls and put that energy down. But literally, like my third, because I mean they were hurting, because like
Wow.
they had such a good chemistry. I guess before I got there, there's one bad apple destroys the bunch, and someone came in and they had a lot of negative energy surrounding them, and kind of was sinking the whole ship.
Right.
And that person ironically quit like my second or third day there. I guess my energy was too much.
Yeah. Was that the one that said I just can't drop the
That's the one. That's the one. That
left
it's
like
7:30 in the morning. I can't do this anymore. Here's my
oh my gosh.
idea, and walk out the door. But in reciprocation, we give what we get, and so I've been giving all this good energy to everybody and kind of helping to restore them to where they were. And like, I mean, the office is just so much more lively and so much so much more energetic. So when you're lively and energetic, especially in a professional setting, you tend to be more productive.
Absolutely.
So everyone's productive, and there's even like there's one guy, I didn't think he liked anybody because he like no. The last couple of days he been chatting and just talking with me when we've been together, and I'm like, that's not the person I met on day one. I'm like, okay, he's just like, hey, yeah, he's talking about what he's gonna do this weekend, and he's going to see his girlfriend, and so. I guess it does become more personal in this sense, but you give what you get. I'm giving out this energy to people that is like, let's have a good time, and it is what it is, and we're gonna make our way, and everybody's having a good time. So I don't. I'm leaving on a high note, and I'm leaving them on a high note as they transition into their next phase, as I transition to my own next phase.
Right.
And it's bittersweet, of course, but with reciprocation, I'm giving them love and light, and they're giving it right back, and we're having a good time. And there it is. And I got to leave early today, so there you go. All of us got to leave early today.
All right. Well, cannot go wrong with being able to leave early, right?
Exactly. Nothing wrong, especially up here. 30 minutes get you home way faster sometimes.
You got that right. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I just think that it's a worthy discussion to have, and even when we bring our guest on, because that's our next phase of the show, is that we need to introduce our phenomenal guest. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about him, and then we're going to bring him on because I want to hear his opinion about what it means to reciprocate and how it affects us personally and professionally. And then I also would like for him to tell us a little bit more about his story, right?
Right.
All right. So without further ado, let me introduce Lynell Freeman, who is the owner, and he is actually the CEO, and founder of LRF Enterprises. Lynell Freeman is a technology savvy serial entrepreneur since the age of 16. And he has a growing enterprise with core divisions in advertising, distribution, real estate, and technology. So when we bring this gentleman on, I'm telling you, we have somebody very special. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on our special guest, Mr. Lynell Freeman. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Hello.
Hey, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. I appreciate being here.
Awesome. Let's see. Do we like this screen setup, you guys? Do we want to do a different screen setup here? Let's see. We got,
It looks fine to me, so I'm gonna leave it up to you, Lady K.
I like what you like.
You like the 3-way, or you like the small? Which one do you like?
Don't let me ask. Don't let me answer. Don't get me the answer.
Like
that was a setup
question, right?
Setup question.
It's like
Y'all are so smart. Love it. All right. Welcome, Mr. Freeman, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Much. And I know you've been sitting back there and patiently waiting down the lobby and saying, "These fools right here." I know that's what you're thinking. It's okay.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's really quite all right. We're used to it. Okay.
I love the energy.
Yeah. Well, we're not your typical show. We really want to share that energy and the love that we provide, but at the same time, we also want to educate and talk about topics that we think that are very meaningful in the community and the world that we live in today, right?
Correct.
So, but before we dive into you talking about our topic of discussion, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Okay. As you guys know, my name is Lynell Freeman. My friends call me L, so everybody, y'all can just call me L if you like.
Okay.
T,
Oh,
you know.
All right. T L
There you go.
Lady K.
That's right.
okay.
That's
We
right.
got it covered. We got it covered.
That sounds like a new I don't know, new group. I don't know. We can't sing, so can we dance?
We can
TL,
dance.
TLK.
TLK. There we go.
There you go.
2019 coming to you
2019.
a live tour, live tour.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So yes. So everybody calls me L, but I've been in business since, like I said, the age of 15. I started my first company at 16. So I always wanted to get into something that I wanted to have of my own, and I wanted to help other people. I asked God to put me in a position where I can help others. So that's the reason why I got into that. I'm college educated. I'm in the IT field. I got a bachelor's degree in management information systems and an applied science degree in multimedia engineering. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Go back to that again. How many? I started to lose track. Okay. I know she's taking notes, but I'm like, wait a minute. Go back and say that again.
So I got a bachelor's in management information systems and an applied science degree in multimedia engineering.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my. See, I knew you were phenomenal. And obviously, most people who don't know, Lynell and I, we know each other from the group that we are part of, which is the DMV Mastermind group. And I haven't always been able to have the opportunity to actually talk to you and get to know you more because you see me run around like a chicken with my head cut off, right? Normally in the events that we're involved in. So to be able to sit here and just have a great conversation live with you and to learn so many things about who you are, because even with your enterprise that you have to combine the advertising, distribution, and real estate and technology all in one, to me it's phenomenal. I know that the real estate piece is kind of new and really growing into that, but the other pieces of your company, talk to the listeners a little bit about your divisions of your company and how you actually got started into your company.
So I used to play a lot in the stock market. So I try to watch the trends, and I've always had I used to be a graphic artist, so I've always had an eye for graphics, animation, as well as advertising. So I said, I wanted to start an advertising branch and build a platform where other businesses and business owners can spotlight themselves. And from that, I started getting the distribution because I got I had I had government contracts, and I pretty much own and operate my own mini warehouse. So I have contracts with Microsoft and Adidas and stuff like that. So I used to provide services and products and stuff for companies as well as government agencies to help fulfill their businesses. And so from there, I said, well, shoot, if I'm fulfilling everybody else's stuff, why not create my own brand? So that's where I kind of got into e-commerce. So that's where that came in. I've always had a love for technology. So, I mean, I do that by trade professionally right now. I work for the city of Virginia Beach. I used to be systems engineer. So I've been in and out of that. So I said, that's a no-brainer. But then I decided I needed to get into real estate because I felt like these four different fields would never die. You're always going to need a place to advertise. There's always going to be distribution when it comes to trade, when it comes to businesses. Technology runs everything, and everybody needs a place to stay and house their businesses. So why not?
True.
Why not?
Yeah, you've literally taken this full circle.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I have.
And to use your background and the talents that you have. I mean, you're a graphic artist, you're a science. I mean, you're into so many different things that it just amazes me how all of them have come together, like I said, in full circle. So I'm just still sitting over here with my mouth. I'm trying not to have my mouth hanging open because we're live on TV. And like I told you, we was chit-chatting early before you came on T. It's so sweet. I said, yeah, it's time for me to take this man off the market. Okay. He is not available. Okay, so just step off. Okay.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I love an intelligent young brother. Okay.
And she does. She does.
Thank
That
you.
she does.
Thank you.
So I am like totally fascinated. I mean, that's a turn on for me. So, hey, keep talking. That's great.
Hey. I'm gonna do my best.
All right. Now I know T. I know you got some questions because T will listen and take notes. Okay, he's the note taker between the two of us.
I do. Well, I am, and I do. Well, first off, Adidas is one of my favorite brands, so I'm just gonna put that in your ear. Just tuck that behind somewhere.
I got you, brother.
So I'm just saying. But I'm curious to know, with our title for tonight's show about reciprocation and how you have these different divisions. How would you tie what you do with your different brands? Like with the real estate, with um, even your graphics, your graphic background, you're in the IT field and all that stuff. How would you tie in our title for tonight's show or about reciprocation in with what you do?
The only way I can tie it in is I like to help and please in any manner that in any field that I'm in. So by me helping support people, whether it's putting them on a platform, giving them something to as far as helping advance their brain when it comes to IT. Even with real estate, it's about feeding the soul. All right. A lot of that's gone lacking in today's world. And let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
And my goal that I would like to do out of anything that I do as far as my business is making sure that the customers are happy and making sure that they walk away with a better and positive sense on, whatever services I provide or even life as a whole. So I think it's just about, as far as tying it in reciprocity, is more or less fulfilling, being thoughtful enough to give to those who give to you. I think that's very important. I'm a big believer in karma. Like I said, I try to keep the right people around me and kick the ones that I don't out.
Absolutely.
So,
Amen.
So you have to be a good judge of character in this business. And I've learned over the years that, I've made my mistakes over the years, and that's how you learn and grow. But if I had to tie everything together, is making sure that no matter what I'm doing for the customer, selling to the customer, or providing with the customer, I'm making sure that I'm transparent and they're happier after the transaction than they were before.
Good. Very, very cool. Now, I do have another question. So,
Sure.
Because you've talked a lot about helping other people. Like that's been a big thing that that's resonated with me from everything that you've said thus far. So I'm curious to know what inspired you to want to be able to do what you do and help other people by doing what you do. So because everybody has that one little thing that's like, this is the reason why, or it could be something more general. So
I would say this. It used to be, I used to narrow it down to one particular person or people. That used to be my parents. But as I have grown and matured, I realized that it's really anybody that has a positive influence on other people are always inspirational to me. I always try to emulate, and that can be stars or that can be your average Joe. Because if you're not going to know how you affect people until you're out the room, right?
Right.
So I think that when that person leaves the room, and then you'd be a fly on the wall and you listen to the conversation and how people talk about that person, and then you realize, you say, is that a good thing? Is that a positive thing? How are they affecting that person in a positive or negative way? That's who I want to be. That you take a blank face, and that can be anybody. So if I know that you're affecting change in a positive way, I gravitate towards it. So really, that's what inspires me to try to be better, is to see other people affecting change in other people in a positive way.
Okay. All right.
Love it. I applaud you. That's why I say that.
Appreciate it.
it sounds like I'm being funny, but I'm saying that because, like you're saying earlier, that the way that the world is today, nobody really truly appreciates each other. People have taken more advantage of the circumstances because we have leadership in our world today that's all about taking advantage of people. And so, we unfortunately have people who are taking that and running with it so fast that they have forgotten who they really are and what their purpose is in life. So when you get an opportunity to meet somebody who truly is doing their business not just for the money, but truly because your passion is to help others shine. Even though you're shining all with them, you're not recognizing yourself as much as you are the people that you deal with every day. And like you said, you're allowing people to walk in by being who they are, but when they walk out, they will remember you and they're happier because of the way you reciprocate and you work with them and you give them that positive vibe. And obviously you obviously know what you're doing in the business, because obviously people don't want to do business with people who don't know what they're doing, no matter how nice and sweet they may be, right? But I definitely applaud people like you, because we need many, many more men like you. And I will just say in general, Black men like you. And I know that might be, the wrong, not the politically right thing to say, but
it is what it is. I can't change my color.
That's right. That's right.
We don't always get to see the positive side. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this. I mean, we're always seeing the negative and hearing about the negative of our Black men. So it is just phenomenal to be able to meet, like I said, to know you, really know who you are now. I've always known of you the last several months, but to be able to have this type of conversation and see the other side of who you are, I'm just ecstatic. And like I said, I applaud you for all the things that you're doing, and I hope that you continue to keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that. But I have to say, what really inspires me is to know I have a bunch of nephews and nieces, right? I don't have any kids yet, but I do have a bunch of nephews and nieces. And you can say anything you want when it comes to, you try to be a role model, you're not, but they look at you, whether you think they're not or they are. They're really looking at you. So I have to walk in that path because I want to be a positive role model in their life. Because then maybe they can pick up something that I've learned and pass it down the line. Because if I can affect them, I can affect change down the line, and that's all that matters to me. That's what I see success. That's my value of success.
Absolutely, and you're right, because we want each generation to be better. We have more opportunity now than there's been in many, many years. There's been so many people who have fought and died for us to have these opportunities. So to be able to take them for granted, it really does kind of get on your nerves. When you see people taking everything and they just like, oh, it's no big deal. I can do whatever I want to do, but not really understanding the history that comes with that. Having those choices that you do have today. And unfortunately, we are seeing so much of the things that people have done. They're starting to come unpeeled like an onion. Everybody's taking 10 steps backwards instead of taking those 10 steps forward continually, that people have strived and worked for us to have these freedoms and to be able to grow and to be able to make each generation better. So like I said, I applaud it, because I just don't hear enough about our Black men, period, doing something positive.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Absolutely.
Well, I want to say, Lynell, consider yourself lucky that with your nieces and nephews that they're just looking up to you, because my niece just says I'm old. So I didn't think 41 was old, and I still get carded. But she saw my grades and said, "Uncle T, you're old." And her father, my brother, is actually my baby brother. So she's like, well, no, Daddy's young, but you're old, Uncle T. Even my mom is young. So
brother, you're just getting more distinguished. That's all.
There you go.
More distinguished.
Yeah, but not in her eyes. Not in her eyes. To her, Uncle T is just old.
This is old, right?
It's just old. So every time I go home and visit, I battle with this, and it's our like running joke now because she's 10. So it's just our little running joke, and I'm like, oh, I gotta find a way to outdo her. But so I'm going to bring this back to our conversation and ask you about your challenges. My challenge is getting my niece to think that I'm young. Can you tell us about a challenge that you encountered in developing your business? and how you actually overcame it. I know this sounds like an interview question, but
Oh,
which I guess it is, but you know,
well, it is
it's like a
interview.
job interview. But it's like I hate this question when I get it, but it's my turn to give it to somebody else.
To answer that, I feel like you never really overcome challenges. You just learn from them. The only thing you can do is improve upon them. I've gone through a lot of mistakes to get to where I am. I've lost a lot of money to get to where I am. But it's not about that. What it's about is pretty much being in a position to learn from your mistakes and not make that mistake again. So I've really necessarily haven't had too many challenges in my life. The only challenge that I put is on myself. You're going to face day-to-day adversities just walking out the door.
That's right.
So, you know, I give it to God, and I go out there and do what I do best, and that's to help, and provide something that is of some substance and some value. So, to answer, I don't know if that technically answered the question, but
well, I don't know. I was so caught up. I was like, well, did he answer my question? I was I think so. I'm gonna have to go back and listen back to it.
So to play it plain and simple, challenges to me are just roadblocks. So it doesn't matter how big a challenge is. It's just another roadblock for me to improve and learn. So I mean, you know, now if you want to be specific, starting my own brand and label is a challenge. It was bigger than what I thought it was going to be.
Definitely.
It's a lot. It's very, you have to have a lot of patience, which I'm working on.
Amen. Amen. You're preaching to the choir here. I understand.
You're working on the patience. And then just the effort in trying to build something from scratch and make sure that it's valuable, something that, because there's some compromise. It's got to be something that you want to give out to the world, and you want it to be received pretty much as close to you envisioned when you gave it out. So at the end of the day, no matter what you're selling, is an emotional response to it, right? So my goal is to make sure that no matter how it ends, it's a positive response.
Yeah.
So
I
would say that.
Right. Well, and I have a question. So with all the businesses that you've been doing, and if somebody was to walk up to you today and they said, "Hey, look, I want to get into business just like you. I want to be like you, man," what advice would you give them?
The advice that I always give people is, number one, you have to stay humble and you have to stay hungry. Because at the end of the day, it's going to take a lot out of you. But you also have to be receptive and be willing to learn. And any type of business that you get into is something that you're going to be learning your whole life. No matter what you get into, you learn more about yourself. And it's about finding your true self is how your business is pretty much, because your business represents you.
Absolutely.
Your whole.
Absolutely.
So as you're building your business, you're actually building yourself. So I always tell people, never give up, because adversities is going to come. You just got to learn how to navigate them. And you always have to stay humble no matter what you get. If you get one customer, two customers, if you get no customers, be humble that you got a business to sell to customers. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's all about picking your battles, but mainly being humble and being hungry enough to go after what you want.
Absolutely. Love that answer. And you're absolutely right. I
thank
couldn't
you.
say better myself.
Thank you.
Anyway, all right. Well, we're coming close to the end of the interview, but one thing I would like for you to tell everybody is how they can find you. You know, through your website, your social media platforms. How can they reach out to you?
So you guys can reach out to me. First of all, you can Google me, Lynell Freeman. All right, but you can find me on LRF enterprises.com. as well as on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at LRF Pro. And then I'm on LinkedIn as Lynell Freeman. So you just Google Lynell Freeman, all of that stuff is going to come up.
Yeah,
So,
that is true. You pop up everywhere, sir.
yeah.
And what about your Facebook and your Instagram handles as well?
Lynell Freeman, and then you got LRF Media Group.
Right.
It's for the company.
Okay. That way people have options for finding you.
Yep, and on Instagram, I just got on Instagram, so that's Lynell Freeman as well.
Oh.
Yeah. I got it. I got to get it up. So I got to get. I'm not the daily poster, but I'll get there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to send you a friend request and find you so I can follow you and see what you're doing. So
I'll do the same.
When you see Move with T LLC pop up, that's
reciprocation, right, brother. That's it. Reciprocation.
Although I look a lot different, so I'm not wearing glasses. I look like.
No, you good. You good.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it has been a pleasure, Lynell, you coming on and spending time with us. And I also want to publicly thank you again for being one of our sponsors for my tour. And so your money has absolutely benefited the whole thing that I'm doing. And I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. And of course, I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yes,
next
weekend.
Will. That's coming up next weekend. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Flying by. So
right. Well deserved. And I always love the support, and congratulations on everything you're doing. It's nice to meet you, brother. Hope to see more of you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Yeah. So I'll be dragging you out with us next week, T. You know, you need to come hang out with the DMV Mastermind group next week.
I'm gonna have to.
Larry, you come see Dr. Larry.
Well, actually, I would say we got to do that because we got TOK coming in 202019. I don't know what that is, but hey,
throw it up.
It's out there now. So
background singing to the dancer.
That's right.
Everybody do the dance. Come on.
That's right. TOK, baby, in the building.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, TLK is in the house, and now we're gonna have to lose one half of our group.
Yeah, it's a trio, but the third got to go. We're gonna wrap it up.
There you go.
Sorry, brother. Sorry.
No, we good, brother. We good.
Again, it is such a pleasure, and we will be talking soon. Yes. You enjoy the rest of your evening. And like I said, for everyone else, if you would like to reach out to Mr. Freeman, you can find him on all the social media platforms. His business he's the CEO and founder of LRF Enterprises. So don't get it mistaken. I'm telling you, this brother is off the chain. Make sure that you spend some time with him, but make sure that your reasons of spending time with him are all about professionalism and reciprocation, right?
That's right. That's right.
Reciprocate. All right. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good
guys.
One. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. I'm telling you, that brother is off the chain, right?
Very cool. Very cool. I enjoyed him. He was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, like I said, I knew him, but I didn't know him. Okay.
Now you know. If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, but it's cool. You can read so much about a person, but to be able to actually talk to them and really get into the inner thoughts of who they are and what they do, I'm just, amazed and shocked and right now I'm full of joy to know that he is doing his thing. So
that's very
proud. Very proud.
Awesome.
All right. So moving on to the rest of the show, we have, we're running out of time. We got about 15 minutes, and we really wanted to focus these last 15 minutes on what we have going on just here recently. But before we jump into that, as for those who don't know, let me just pop up one of my. Let me see if I can get
pop it up.
Woo. All right. So tomorrow I will be on the road. Me and Miss Tanja, who is my manager, Miss Tanja White, and I will be heading Tanja White, yes. If you ain't listening to Tanja, you need to be on that's our other T, right?
Right, that's our other T.
With T in them. So anyway, so for those who are listening, I want to say you have until midnight tonight. I've got 4 more tickets that I've added on for the self-publishing workshop. For those who are truly interested and you live in the Eastern Pennsylvania area, if you want to sign on to get a seat in this amazing workshop that we're going to have called Write Your Story. It's going to be 4 hours long. We have a special guest speaker. I've collaborated with Christy Joy Met, who is the CEO and founder of the Joyful Self Wellness Center in Eastern Pennsylvania. And so we are extremely excited about Saturdays. The event is from 10 to 2. So like I said, if you're truly interested and want to get those last few seats that I've added in for this, the one thing you will get if you sign up by midnight, you will get an autographed copy of my book, the memoir, Deception of the Heart, A Real Look into Domestic Violence. So everybody else who wants it, they have to pay for it. So this is a great opportunity. If you want to be sitting in the front row, if you want to be my special guest and you want a copy of the book, you have until midnight tonight to get those last couple tickets. So come on board. This is going to be a great you don't want to miss it. So now enough of that. Let's dive into something else.
Okay. We're going to swim through some things.
The magic is here. Here it is. This event. I can't say enough about it. I'm so excited that we had the most amazing event on Saturday, October 20th, which was
I'm doing my shout out while you're talking.
I know, get it all. Gold's Gym. Woo, hallelujah, Gold's Gym. Gold's Gym ETC, of course, which is located on Jefferson Davis Highway. They're located at 13957 Jefferson Davis Highway. Mm-hmm. They allowed us to utilize their gym. It's a phenomenal gym to have a great event. And so we were so excited last Saturday when we held our first Purple and Pink Disco 70s throwback Zumba fundraiser and community health fair. It was phenomenal.
Awesome. It was groovy.
There you go.
It was groovy. Groovy, baby.
Groovy, baby. Look, I had the bun. Look, I had to show you this picture. Y'all gonna crack up when you see this picture. Okay? let me just
She was the flower child and ready to party. She was like, hey.
Had the bun thing on. Look, that's the way we looked back in the 70s. Of course, I was still real young back then, but I remember the flower girl look, and the little glasses, little shade. I was telling these young ladies when we had the class on Friday, they're like, what's the 70s? I'm like, honey, we've been wearing these buns way before y'all ever knew what a bun was, okay?
Exactly.
So we really had a great time, and just want to be able to, give shout outs to everybody. The one thing that I want to say before I'm going to let T, talk about all the other people that were involved, that we had raised for the first event $450, which was all the proceeds were split. Half the proceeds went to the Susan G. Komen Foundation for breast cancer awareness, of course, and then the other 50% went to ACTS PWC, which is a domestic violence safe house that's located right here in the Woodbridge community. Actually, it's located in Dumfries. So we were really excited to be able to give them the funds that we raised, even though it may seem minute to some people, it may not be a large amount, but it will help those who are in need, and every little bit counts. So I was just ecstatic that, we really put this, all together, me, you, and Tanja, maybe in less than 60 days.
And, yeah. Although we were meeting longer than that. We met for about 4 months, like once a week for 4 months.
Yeah, if not longer. So it was just really great to see the end result. And then like we were saying, last week, we're gonna miss.
Speaking of, she keeps trying to call me. I don't know why she's trying to call me right now. So I keep declining. I'm like,
forgot that you were on TV tonight. That's all.
She did.
Tell her if she chimes in, we can put her face up here on Facebook. See,
right. We have to get her in this.
Get all divaed up first, though. She gotta get all divaed up first.
Right. So we don't have that kind of time next time. We'll tell her next time. Tell her early.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Such a good time.
Who the handsome guys? That hit you over there in that corner over there doing your thing?
That's me over. Well, I'm pointing like anybody can see. That's like me in the light, the bright pants with the shirt that says "hour" at the top. That's me. But in the middle there, that lovely lady right there is a Zumba jammer, and she's incredible. She goes around the world and travels internationally teaching some amazing stuff through and with Zumba. She's a Zumba jammer for the state of Virginia. Her name is Rita Cohen, and people can find her on social media under Fit with Rita. So look for her on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook for Fit with Rita, and you can find her. She is from Ghana. She is a classically trained vocalist. Because I want to talk about her because she's awesome, and her specialty is Afrobeats. She has an amazing Afrobeats workshop that she does, and actually, I will be hosting her in January. Lady K, this is news for you. We just locked in a date. And and a place. So you guys out there in listener land will be hearing more and more about that as that comes up, because she is absolutely incredible. I can't say anything. I have nothing bad to say about her other than the fact that I don't get to see her every day.
Enough, exactly.
Like, right. So I mean, she's amazing.
The same area where Lynell lives at, where Lynell lives at.
Yes,
so
So they're down there. So we might need to connect them.
Lynell, go on and reach to that. Get into the. He can still
right. Go find Rita. And take one of her classes and be like, T and Lady K sent me, and she'll be like, I got you, baby, come on in. But also in that picture, if you look to her right in the picture, that is Socrat Fuego, who we had on our show just a few weeks ago. Sakriti Danza, and he is pumping Third Fitness right now. He's at an event coming up. Is it
holiday?
This Friday? It's a Halloween. Fiesta, I think it's 2.0, is over there and going on up there in Gaithersburg. I don't remember the cost because I did not write it down, but it's going on this coming Friday night. I know it starts at 10, it goes to 2.
Late one, like 10 to 2
it's 10 to 2. 10 to 2. I might actually swing by because my Saturday class, my fitness instructor at that gym, my fitness director at that gym is going to be, she took over my class because she's going to be teaching a new format, so I'm off. I was planning to go visit my one of my good friends in DC, Miss Chandra Hampton's Champion Lifestyle Fitness. I'm gonna shout her out because she's my friend. I was planning to surprise her. However, I'm like, I might be able to go out and shake a little tail feather.
Look, I would be out there. Me and Tanja are gonna be on the road, or we're gonna already be in East Pennsylvania by then, so we're not gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna miss a really good party, so I'm sad. I'm a little sad.
I might pop in, but it's 10 o'clock, and as my niece says, I'm old, so I might be in the bed by 10 o'clock. I don't know. So
look, I feel
we'll see.
Look, midnight comes, I'm already like, what? It's time for me to go to bed. I can't be out too late anymore.
I am not Cinderella. I'm Cinderfella, and I turn into a pumpkin at 11 o'clock p.m. Not midnight. It'd be like, ding, I'm in the bed. Like my dog looks at me and is like, it's time for bed. It's 10:45. Pepper be looking like it's time to go to bed.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And there's just another pic, people having some fun. I would say it was great. It was a great event. But then here, I got to show you this other picture of one of our famous people, Miss Tanja White. I got to show you this one.
Tanja, and there's Carmen Ramos, one of our speakers for the event as well. And of course, Lady K.
Yes. Of course, me looking crazy. Then we got Miss Tanja White and then Miss Carmen Ramos.
Somebody stole my shades because I only bought 3 of those. Carmen stole my shades. No wonder I can't find them.
You've been looking for those shades?
No wonder I can't find them. Carmen took my shades. Yes, Carmen Ramos, I'm coming for you. Señorita, ¿dónde está?
You're gonna watch out. He is coming for you. Yeah, you're right, because we told her to put him on to take the picture.
No, it's okay. It's all right. but really quickly, I did want to shout out the rest of the instructors. Like I said, we had a Zumba jammer for the state of Virginia, Rita Cohen. Her specialty is choreo with Zumba, but her specialty outside of that is Afrobeats, and she's absolutely amazing. We also had Michelle Hunter of Hips Fitness, HIPS Fitness, which stands for Helping Inspire People's Self-Confidence. She has a wonderful event coming up actually on December 1st, which I'll mention really, really briefly because I know we're coming down on our time. Her event is actually taking place from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Riverview at Occoquan at 9751 Ox Road in Lorton, Virginia. I don't have the price because I don't have the price, but it's the Dance Fitness. Yeah, There's a price, so you can't show up. It's not free.
Time, but we're good.
Yeah. But it's called the Dance Fitness Experience DFX 2018. She's got a list of teams. Find her on Facebook and Instagram, and you can see the teams that are already represented. That will be dancing their hearts out for you guys, and you guys will be dancing along with them. So they're not there for a show; they're there for a collaborative. They're there for reciprocity. So
that's right.
So they dance and you follow.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and believe you will work your buns off, okay? And if you're trying to lose a few extra pounds, that's the place to be, all right?
That's the place to be. But also on the same day, which is just such a small world, like we also had at that wonderful fundraiser, Manny Carreras and Anna Desai. They are two awesome instructors, also located here in the DMV. They are hosting another Zumba jammer. His name is Jonathan Benoit. I think I'm saying his name right. For a frosty Zumba masterclass on the same day. But it's at 4 p.m. So you got time to go to Michelle's event, go home, take a quick shower, and then 2 hours later go there from 4 to 6:30 p.m. They're going to be at LA Fitness in Woodbridge at 13060. That's next door. So 13060 Worth Avenue in Woodbridge, Virginia. I believe the tickets are $17 through eventbrite.com. So you can type in ZJ Jonathan, traditional spelling, Benoit, Benoit, and I'm sure it'll come up. Otherwise, type in Frosty Zumba Masterclass and look for December 1st. So you can go party with Michelle in the morning, get you some rose spray, change your clothes, and go party into the evening with them. And he's really, really awesome. He was actually, if I remember correctly, one of our Zumba's Next Rising Stars for last year during our convention. So he was one of the finalists. So he's now a jammer. So he's coming to this area as well. Like I said, I know the ticket prices for that are $17. So also, I think I got everybody I covered. Of course, I was there. You'll hear more from me coming soon. I talked about Socrates and his party that's coming up this weekend in Gaithersburg, a Spotlight Studio in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Michelle Hunter of Hips Fitness with her event December 1st at the something in Occoquan. Oh crap! what was I saying? There we go. The River View at Occoquan. There we go. I just scroll over. That's in Lorton, Virginia. And of course, Manny and Anna have their event coming up at LA Fitness in Woodbridge on December 1st as well. And then we have our lovely Rita Cohen and her beautiful self and voice who will be back to our area in January with an Afrobeats workshop that you guys are going to love. So, chicken over to you, Lady K.
All righty. Well, hey, I think that you did a phenomenal job. Like I said, we had a lot of great instructors there. And also a special thank you to our volunteers, our other speakers, the people who provided gifts for the raffles. I mean, we had some phenomenal gifts. So we thank everybody, who participated in this event. And
Mr. Wolf Dog Care and Juanita Ortiz.
Yes. And I also want to give a special shout out to ITG, Interactive Technologies Group Incorporated. They also donated funds to this particular event so that we could, purchase the things we need to have for the event. So we absolutely say thank you to Mr. Mark Newsom, who is the CEO and founder of ITG. And of course, Gold Gem ETC, as T is standing there with his chest hanging out.
Yes. Gotta shout them out. Because they allowed us to have the event in their space. Yes. By the way, you guys, they are located once again in Woodbridge, Virginia, in Morosco Plaza. They have a wonderful membership special going on right now. Just if I may just put it out there, $29 down for their enrollment fee and $29 a month. Go see Kelly or go see Aaron and tell them T sent you, and they'll take care of you. And then you can come see me on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yay. There you go. Yay!
Right there.
All right. So we are absolutely down to the end of the show. We are
no fashion today. We have to skip fashion again.
And no moment of inspiration. I think that we have
to hold on to my fashion for another time.
Well, hey, we'll be back on here live next week if you would like to join me, Mr. T, because we have author DeWanda S. Epps will be on the show, and she's going to be talking about all her phenomenal businesses. Now, you talk about another serial entrepreneur we'll be dealing with next week. Woo, Lord have mercy. I'm telling you. So be excited about that. We will definitely be back here next Thursday evening at the same time, same place, 7:00. And like I said, we'll do kind of get back to our normal part of the show and do our moment of inspiration and our fashion and our regular shout outs with everybody. But we really just wanted to focus on this wonderful event that we had, and of course, our wonderful special guest of who is Mr. Lynell Freeman, who is the CEO and founder of LRF Enterprises. Yay!
Yay!
Thank you again for coming on. And if do you have any last things you want to say, Mr. T, before we let it go?
The only thing that I have to say is that at this point, I think our fall fashion tips are going to become winter fashion tips, which is a good thing. That means we might need to scrap that and save it for another time.
Oh my goodness. Well, the other thing I want to say, if you would like to be a guest on the show in 2019, because the rest of this year is pretty much has been filled up for quite some time. So 2019 is just around the corner. I'm actually already filled up, I believe, up to March or April. So you need to get your information to me. And what you need to send is a simple short bio, a pic, and a business logo. And here is the email address. You can send it to kmm123macklemore@gmail.com. If you are truly interested in being a guest, we will review your information and then we will schedule an actual interview with you. If you would like to find us, you can also find Mr. T. Hey, look, I got all these different names up here, T. Sorry about that. But he's
right.
Moving TLC. I got all these different names for him. So anyway, there's his information. And of course, if you want to look for me, you can also find me on WSBI LC through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, I'm on there. And also, if you're looking just for the author information, you can go to author Kimberly and Macklemore LLC. But that's pretty much what we have for the show tonight. And we're running just a little bit over, which is no big deal. We always do. But I really want to say thank you, Mr.
Thank
T.
you.
Awesome.
Muchas gracias.
Awesome evening. You know, we're coming to the end of the show, and you know, this is the part I hate the most, where we have to say good night.
Adios.
But you know, love you. Thank you right now. Love you much, Mr. T. Until next time. Smooches.
Besos.
Ah.